Hey everyone, today we're diving into a fascinating yet alarming scientific discovery from Antarctica. Researchers at the British Antarctic Survey, BAS, have uncovered a critical mechanism in ice sheet melting that has been overlooked. Yes, you heard that right. The way warm seawater melts the ice beneath is not accounted for in current models, which might mean we've been underestimating the impacts of global warming. Sea level rise poses a massive environmental threat that can impact millions of people worldwide, especially those living in coastal areas. This can lead to displacement, economic losses, and loss of habitat. So, understanding and accurately modeling the melting process of glaciers is crucial. Alex Bradley, an ice dynamics researcher at BAS and the lead author of this new study, explains it like this. We've identified a new tipping point in Antarctic ice sheet melting. Bradley and his team believe this new mechanism could mean our current sea level rise predictions are significantly underestimated. This discovery could fundamentally change our understanding of climate change and ice melt. The study focuses on the grounding zone, where land-based ice meets the sea. Over time, this ice moves into the ocean and melts, contributing significantly to sea level rise in places like Antarctica and Greenland. The melting of these glaciers can have profound effects on coastal regions around the world. This process doesn't just have environmental impacts, it also has economic and social implications. Communities, agriculture, and infrastructure in coastal areas are directly affected by rising sea levels. Therefore, accurately modeling and understanding this process is critical to mitigating these impacts. The new research models how seawater seeps between the land and the ice sheet and how this affects localized melting, lubricating the bed, and influencing how fast it can slide towards the sea. This process speeds up as the water warms. Bradley says, ice sheets are extremely sensitive to melting at their grounding zones. We found that melting in these zones shows tipping point-like behavior, where a small change in ocean temperature can cause a significant increase in grounding zone melting. This process happens because warm water melting the grounding zone of the ice sheet creates new cavities, allowing more warm water to enter, causing more melting and creating even bigger cavities. A small increase in water temperature can have a substantial impact on the amount of melting. The melting of ice in this way, which is not currently included in models used by the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, and others, could explain why ice sheets in Antarctica and Greenland seem to be shrinking faster than expected. Bradley says incorporating these new findings into models could provide more reliable estimates. This could also lead to new strategies in tackling global climate change. This discovery helps us better understand the impacts of climate change. Renowned physicist Dr. Michio Kaku emphasizes the urgency, saying, findings like these show how late we are in combating climate change and highlight the need for immediate action. Remember, folks, it's up to us to protect our planet. The melting of glaciers might seem like a distant problem, but rising sea levels will directly affect millions of people living in coastal areas. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more scientific updates and awareness. Glacial melting has intrigued scientists for centuries. Back in the 19th century, Swedish scientist Svante Arrhenius suggested that increasing levels of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere could lead to global warming. Over time, more evidence supported this theory, making it a widely accepted fact today. In the mid-20th century, scientists began studying the Antarctic and Greenland ice sheets more closely. Research in the 1950s and 1960s revealed how sensitive these ice sheets are to climate change. Particularly after the 1970s, studies on climate change and glacial melting gained momentum. Today, advanced technologies are used to study glacial melting. Satellite observations track ice sheet movements and melting rates. Additionally, underwater robots and other sophisticated devices help us understand what's happening beneath the ice. These technologies provide more accurate information about the melting process of glaciers. These new technologies enable us to make more accurate predictions about climate change and glacial melting. However, these predictions often reveal the inadequacies of current models. Therefore, scientists continuously update these models to improve their accuracy. Glacial melting doesn't just raise sea levels, it also significantly impacts ocean currents, weather patterns, and ecosystems. For example, the melting of glaciers in Greenland can affect North Atlantic currents, which in turn can alter weather patterns in Europe and North America. Glacial melting also impacts marine life. As ocean salinity and temperatures change, the habitats and breeding cycles of many marine species are affected. This can lead to significant changes in marine ecosystems and impact industries like fishing. Renowned physicist Dr. Michio Kaku often expresses his concerns about glacial melting and climate change. Kaku states, "Glacial melting is not just an environmental issue, it's a humanitarian crisis. We must take this seriously and act urgently." Other renowned scientists echo these sentiments. For instance, Nobel Prize-winning climate scientist Dr. James Hansen has long warned about glacial melting. Hansen says, "Glacial melting could signal an irreversible process and could significantly impact the global climate system." Glacial melting might be one of the biggest environmental challenges we face in the future, but we still have time to mitigate its effects. Taking measures to limit global warming and reduce greenhouse gas emissions can slow the rate of glacial melting and control sea level rise. There are many steps we can take individually and collectively to combat glacial melting. Increasing energy efficiency, investing in renewable energy sources, and reducing our carbon footprint are all crucial measures in the fight against climate change. The discovery of a new tipping point in Antarctica provides significant insights into the glacial melting process. This information can help develop new strategies to combat climate change and make more accurate predictions. However, we must take this seriously and act now. Glacial melting is not just an environmental issue, it's a humanitarian crisis. We must not underestimate this problem and take the necessary steps to ensure a more livable world for future generations. Let's heed the warnings of scientists and work together for a sustainable future. See you next time, folks. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more scientific updates and awareness.